Throughout history, there have been numerous individuals who have accumulated vast wealth and have left their mark on the world. While many have acquired their wealth through inheritance, others have built their empires from scratch through hard work, dedication, and innovation. In this video, we will take a look at the top 10 richest people in history, based on adjusted inflation rates. 10. Alan Rufus, Alan the Red, worth $178 billion. Was extremely wealthy and lived a life of luxury. He held a large number of lands and properties in England and was one of the richest men in the country. He was also a patron of the arts and supported the construction of a number of churches and monasteries. Alan Rufus built several castles, including the castle at Richmond in Yorkshire, which was one of the largest and most impressive castles in England at the time. He was also known for his love of fine horses and was said to have kept a large stable of horses at his estates. 9. Henry Ford, $200 billion. The famous American industrialist and founder of the Ford Motor Company was known for his simple and frugal lifestyle, which was in stark contrast to the luxury lifestyles of many wealthy people of his time. Despite his wealth, he lived a modest life, dressing in simple clothes and driving a Ford automobile instead of a more luxurious car. However, Ford did enjoy some of the finer things in life. He was a collector of antique furnishings and art, and he owned several homes, including a large estate in Dearborn, Michigan and a winter home in Florida. He also enjoyed travel and had a yacht, the Henry Ford, which he used for leisure and business. 8. Mir Osman Ali Khan, $238 billion. He lived a life of great luxury, surrounded by the finest things money could buy. The Nizam was known for his love of jewelry and precious stones, and his collection of gems was said to be one of the largest and finest in the world. He was also a collector of antique cars, many of which were fitted with solid gold fittings and plates. He lived in a number of palaces, including the magnificent Falaknuma Palace in Hyderabad, which was said to be one of the most opulent palaces in the world, with its lavish interiors and furnishings, glittering chandeliers, and ornate carvings. 7. William the Conqueror, worth $300 billion. William the Conqueror, also known as William I of England, was a Norman duke who became the King of England in 1066 after successfully invading the country. As a king, William lived a life of great luxury, surrounded by wealth and privilege. William was known for his love of fine food and wine, and his court was renowned for its feasts and banquets. He also had a passion for hunting and was an avid falconer, owning many fine birds of prey. The king was also a patron of the arts and architecture, and he commissioned the construction of several impressive buildings, including the Tower of London and Westminster Abbey. These structures were built in the Norman style and were adorned with intricate carvings and sculptures. William also lived in a number of luxurious residences, including the Royal Palace at Winchester and his residence in Normandy, the Château de Caen. These buildings were grand and spacious, with richly decorated interiors and elegant furnishings. 6. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, worth $350 billion. Tsar Nicholas II was the last emperor of Russia, who ruled from 1894 until his abdication in 1917. As the head of the Russian monarchy, Nicholas II lived a life of great luxury, surrounded by the finest things money could buy. The Tsar and his family lived in the magnificent Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, which was the center of the Russian court and was filled with beautiful furnishings, paintings, and other works of art. The palace was also the site of numerous formal functions and balls, many of which were attended by the finest members of Russian society. Nicholas II was also a patron of the arts and supported the construction of a number of museums and cultural institutions, including the famous Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. He was a collector of art and antiques and filled his palaces with beautiful furnishings, paintings, and sculptures. In addition to his love of fine art and antiques, Nicholas II was also an avid sportsman and enjoyed hunting, yachting, and other outdoor activities. He was said to have owned a number of yachts, including the magnificent Standard, which was one of the largest and most luxurious yachts of its time.
5. John D. Rockefeller, worth $400 billion. John D. Rockefeller was an American industrialist and philanthropist who was the co-founder of Standard Oil Company, which dominated the oil industry and made him one of the wealthiest men in the world. Despite his immense wealth, Rockefeller lived a relatively modest lifestyle and was known for his frugality. However, Rockefeller did have a taste for luxury, and he lived in a number of large and elegant homes throughout his life. One of his most famous homes was the Rockefeller Estate in Westchester County, New York, which was a sprawling estate with gardens, a lake, and a number of impressive buildings, including a large mansion that was said to have had 35 rooms. Rockefeller was also a collector of art and antiques, and he filled his homes with beautiful furnishings, paintings, and sculptures. He was also a patron of the arts and supported a number of institutions, including the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. 4. Augustus Caesar, worth $4.6 trillion, also known as Octavian, was the first Roman emperor and considered to be one of the most powerful rulers in world history. He lived from 63 BCE to 14 CE. Augustus was known for his luxurious lifestyle and is considered to be one of the wealthiest individuals in history. He lived in a number of extravagant palaces, including the Palace of Augustus on the Palatine Hill in Rome, which was famous for its ornate and luxurious decor. Augustus was also known to be a collector of fine art and had a passion for gemstones, owning several precious gemstones, including diamonds, pearls, and emeralds. In addition to his love of fine things, Augustus was also known for his lavish feasts and banquets. He hosted grand dinners for the Senate and people of Rome, serving exotic foods and fine wines. He was also known to be a patron of the arts and supported the building of theaters, temples, and other monumental structures throughout Rome. 3. Akbar I, $21 trillion. Akbar was a Mughal emperor who ruled over much of India from 1556 to 1605. He was known for his great wealth and his love of luxury, which he used to create a magnificent court and surround himself with the finest art and architecture. Akbar built several palaces, including the famous Fatehpur Sikri, which was decorated with intricate carvings, frescoes, and inlaid marble. He was also a patron of the arts, sponsoring painters, calligraphers, musicians, and scholars, many of whom went on to become famous in their own right. Overall, Akbar's reign marked a high point in the history of the Mughal Empire and was characterized by a lavish and opulent lifestyle that reflected his wealth and power. 2. Emperor Shenzhong, $30 trillion. Shenzhong ruled China from 1067 to 1085 during the peaceful prosperity and primary abundance eras. When he controlled around 30% of global GDP, the equivalent of over $30 trillion, £21.6 trillion today. As for his luxury lifestyle, Emperor Shenzong was known for his love of the arts, poetry, and music, and he surrounded himself with poets, musicians, and artists. He also enjoyed fine food and drink and was said to have a passion for horse racing. The imperial court was known for its opulence, and the emperor lived in a palace surrounded by ornate gardens and other luxurious buildings. Overall, Emperor Shenzong lived a life of great wealth and luxury, surrounded by the trappings of power and surrounded by beauty and culture. 1. Genghis Khan, worth $130 trillion. Genghis Khan owned large swaths of land in countries like Russia, China, Korea, Persia, India, and Eastern Europe. Hundreds of stacks of gold and jewelry. Millions of horses and livestock. Genghis Khan can be considered the richest person to have ever lived on the planet. Genghis Khan's net worth is equal to the wealth of all the billionaires in the world combined. And also Mansa Musa, worth indescribable, was the king of the Mali Empire in West Africa from 1312 to 1337. He is considered one of the wealthiest rulers in history, with his wealth largely based on the production of gold and salt in his empire. And it's believed the Empire of Mali accounted for half of the world's gold at the time. Since all the resources of Mali Kingdom stretching to modern-day Niger, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Mauritania, Senegal, the Gambia and Mali itself. Mansa Musa was known for his lavish lifestyle, and was famous for his devotion to Islam and his love of luxury goods. He was known to own a large collection of fine fabrics, including silk and brocade, and was often adorned in gold and precious gems. In addition to his personal wealth, Mansa Musa was also known for his generosity. He was known to give large sums of money to the poor and to support the construction of mosques and other religious institutions. He was also known to bring along a large entourage of slaves, musicians, and other attendants on his famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, where he is said to have spent lavishly on gifts and entertainment. In conclusion, the top 10 richest people in history have lived lives of extreme wealth and luxury, enjoying the finest of everything money can buy. From private jets and palatial homes to exclusive art collections, these individuals have had access to the best that life has to offer. though they used their wealth for both personal pleasure and philanthropic causes. Their luxurious lifestyles are a reminder of the enduring human desire for wealth and success. Whether we view it as inspiring or cautionary, the story of the richest people in history will continue to captivate us for generations to come. 5. John D. Rockefeller, worth $400 billion. John D. Rockefeller was an American industrialist and